Alright, what is up, you guys? You know who it is. It's your boy, the Nature Boy. And today is my favorite day of the week. Yes, Monday is officially my favorite day of the week because it is Bleach Day. And there's nothing, I say this at the start of every Bleach live reaction, there is nothing I look forward to more on a weekly basis, every single week, than Bleach. Because every single episode has been hype after hype after hype. And I'm excited for this one, but before I get into this one, there are a couple of things I want to mention. So I might veer off for a while. I'm gonna talk for quite a bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put some kind of like timestamp over here. You guys can just skip to that moment and you'll watch the live reaction with me. But if you want to stick around for what I'm about to say, feel free to stick around as well. First of all, yes, I'm putting up posters. I'm not done. There's a bunch more. I'm gonna put them up just to spice up the background, make it a bit more interesting in here, give it more of a flavor. But okay, so the first thing I want to say, because this is going to be a quick one, is I know what's going to happen in this episode, as in one of the spoilers that I mentioned that I know of, the fight that happens between two characters, I know is going to happen in this episode. And the only reason I know it's going to happen in this episode is because sometimes I have a bad habit. Whenever I wake up, I'll check all my socials. I'll just go right on them. And today when I woke up, I checked YouTube. And usually, even though I wake up late because I work night shifts, usually around like 12 p.m., no one has a Bleach live reaction up yet, right? But today, when I went on YouTube, I saw King Recon. Shout out King Recon. I love his videos. I saw his Bleach live reaction, and I think I read it. I don't remember if I read the title or not, but I didn't need to because I saw the thumbnail. And this is my fault. This isn't like his fault or anything or anyone else's fault. This is my fault for checking in the first place. And I saw the two characters that I already knew were going to fight. They were fighting in his thumbnail for his live action. So I know that's going to happen in this episode. However, I already knew that fight was coming anyways. If you guys saw my last live reaction, at the end when Kenpachi was talking, I said, I think I know what this is about. To me, that fight, since I've already known about it for like 4 or 5 years now, I only care about the context. And I literally have zero context. I have absolutely no, I can sit down for like half an hour. I think of any reason why I think those two characters would fight, and I won't come up with anything, like at all. So I'm still like completely confused as to like, how the hell did those two characters end up fighting in the first place? So that's what I'm actually excited to find out. But that's not the main thing I wanted to talk about today anyways. I just wanted to let you guys know that so that you are aware of that while I'm live reacting. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was, so in my theory video, I've been getting a lot of love on it. A lot of love. I think it's over like 90% likes. Most of the comments, well over 90% of the comments, are people saying they really enjoyed it and they loved it. And I appreciate all of you guys. And I also appreciate the critics, and I wouldn't even say haters, to be honest, because there have been valid criticisms in the comments that have been coming up lately. And I want to address this because although I think they're valid, I don't think they're, I don't want to say right or wrong, because who am I to say that? I don't think the basis of which that argument is being stated is correct, and I'll tell you why. So if you guys go to that comment section, you will see a lot of the comments from many different people, valid critique, saying that the theory is not necessarily a theory and it's fan fiction. They're saying I'm just giving up fan fiction. I'm telling my own story, like I'm Oda, right? Some people put it in a nice way, some people put it in a rude way. Honestly, I don't care. I like, it's YouTube at the end of the day, right? I've dealt with real hostility in real life scenarios, so I'm not too worried about that. But some of them put it in a very nice way too, but I appreciate all of them anyways. But the main argument was I wasn't giving evidence, which is what a theory is, right? You say what your theory is and you give evidence to suggest why it's your theory. Some people were saying I wasn't giving proof, and I'm thinking, if I was giving proof, it wouldn't be a theory. It would be me stating a fact, a statement, right? Like, Luffy's the main character. Here's your proof. He's had the most screen time. So you're not supposed to give proof. You're supposed to give evidence. But I did give evidence. However, my main thing here is I literally stated in the beginning that I was going to tell it in story mode. But looking back on it, I didn't really emphasize on that, which I apologize. I should have, because for those of you that have been watching my videos long before my theory video, you've known I've been keeping you guys updated on how long that theory was taking, right? And I only even brought it to public after like a week or 2 weeks into the making, and then you guys saw it took well over a month and a half. And one night told you guys I was working on a major theory video, to the point that I uploaded it was already a very long time. So you guys know how long that took me. The reason it took me so long, one of the things that was the longest for me was the script. And the reason the script was so long, it was because I really had to think about how I was going to get that theory out to everyone. Because it starts with you just writing down your theories, right? And it was like a long, I just put notes on my phone. It was a long list of things that I thought. And the reasons that I thought them. And I'm like, well, I can't just grab this and be like, okay, guys, welcome to my theory video. So the first thing I think is this, and the reason is this. The second thing is this, and the reason is this. The 45th thing is this, and the reason is this. The 97th thing is this. And imagine watching that for an hour and a half. No one would watch it, right? And I thought about this long and hard, and I said, okay, let me put this into a story format, because a lot of it is in chronological order anyways. And yes, when I put it in story format, a lot of things I kind of just added in there because it fit with the story, right? So I didn't add any theories, but I told it like you would tell a story, to make it interesting and so that people would want to watch the video. However, for those critiques that said that I did not give any evidence, okay, what did I say? I said that Joy Boy was a giant, right? The evidence is that there's a giant straw hat. The first time we see Emu, we see a giant straw hat. What was the other thing? In the most recent chapters, we saw the as soon as they started talking about the Void Sentry in the Ancient Kingdom, we see a giant mechanical robot built from those times, right? Now, obviously, that's not proof, but none of this is proof. But this is good hints suggesting that at that time there were giants. That maybe Joyboy was a giant. I think most of us already assumed he was the leader of the Ancient Kingdom, and if he was the leader, he would have built this, or he would have been in charge of the creation of this giant robot, right? So there's stuff there. Now I said he's from Elbaf because he's a giant. That goes without saying. And he ate the devil fruit. He ate the Gumu Gumu no Mi from the tree of Elbaf. I'll be honest, the only reason I said the tree of Elbaf is because I didn't really care too much about that part of the theory. That was just to fill in, like I said, for the story. And the reason I said the tree of Elbaf, obviously, is because the tree of Adam is because it is from Elbaf. So why would I say any other tree? That wasn't the main part of my theory anyways. And the reason I said he ate the fruit, obviously, is because when Luffy awakened, it was only once he awakened that Zunisha recognized Joy Boy in Luffy's awakening, directly connecting the fruit to Joy Boy immediately. I didn't say these things in the video because I thought they go without saying. I honestly thought it went without saying, and I didn't want to interrupt the story to say this, but that's my mistake. I'll own that 100%. I should have been more clear with certain things, especially with the fact that I was going to tell it in story format, because it seems a lot of people, it was a trend, quite a few people were saying that I was just telling a story. It wasn't a theory. So I should have emphasized that more, that I'm going to have to tell it in story format. Now let's move on. I also said that Emu was a queen in the past. And I directly said this in the video as well because she wears a crown. Most likely she comes from royalty. This is what I'm assuming. I said she's Luffy's mother. This was a theory that was already like a wild theory. I already said this is a wild theory, but the evidence I gave was, again, I'm not a big fan of wordplay, but Oda does wordplay. Emu backwards is Umi. Umi in Arabic is my mother. What else did I say in that video? I said that the Gorosei and Emu took the Eternal Youth surgery with Law's Devil Fruit. Now, the evidence for this is back in Ohara in Robin's flashback, which is 22 years ago now, I believe. It's 22 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's 22 years ago from the current storyline. The Gorosei all look the exact same as they do right now. Exact same. And I don't know anybody on this planet that has ever lived that has looked the exact same in 22 years and has not aged. So this highly suggests that they do not age. And the only reason that we can possibly think of in One Piece that they do not age is either somehow they all have Jewelry Bonnie's fruit, which wouldn't make any sense, or the other explanation that Doflamingo explained all the way back in Dressrosa, the Eternal Youth surgery. So that's the evidence for that. Now with this, I also went on and said that I believe that Emu and one of the Gorosei ate it, or took the surgery. I don't know why I keep saying ate, but took the surgery way before the others took it. And again, I said in the video that the reason I believe this is because one Gorosei, and not just a Gorosei, but the one that specifically tends to have that leadership role. I know none is above the other, but he tends to be that leadership kind of guy. He's younger than the rest. So this allows me to assume that also with him being the leader, or kind of the leader, I guess you could say, was the first one to take initiative in taking this surgery, and he took it, and then they couldn't figure out, because we already know how devil fruits worked, but if this was the initial finding of devil fruits, they wouldn't have known this. So he would have taken the devil fruit, and then years would have went by before they understood how it worked, and then the rest of them would have taken it. That was my evidence for that. Now, with the parallels, I go back to that chapter, and the first thing I said, the first word that came out of my mouth is if. If. Because everyone's saying that, well, not everyone, but the people who are criticizing were saying I'm stating these as if they're facts. And I directly said, if these are true, which, who knows, they can very well not be true, of course, it's just a theory, then these are the parallels that would have happened. And I explained the parallels. And from all my years watching Oda, that's, in my humble opinion, that's how he works. He parallels. So, like, if we do see a Joy Boy flashback, I believe there's going to be so many parallels to other pirates. It's not even funny. Because, again, I believe Joy Boy was the first pirate. And if this is the case, then all these other pirates would have had some kind of influence out of Joy Boy, even if they do not know it. I didn't give much evidence for certain things that I talked about, but for the majority of the things I talked about, I gave a decent amount of evidence. Certainly enough for it to be a theory and not fan fiction. Now, for Luffy's dream, again, it goes back to everything else. First of all, I said Luffy's dream is to unite everyone together in one place, which was Roger's dream and Joy Boy's dream. But let's stick with Luffy first. Okay, what did I say after that? I explained how he has actually been accomplishing this dream at the exact same time that he's reaching One Piece. So as he's moving toward the One Piece, he is collecting people under his banner, technically, as either Straw Hat Fleet or friends or direct Nakama like Vivi and Yamato and Kinemon and all of them. He is literally accomplishing this goal chapter after chapter after chapter. And if you think about it, this is something I actually forgot. I was going to say in the video, but I didn't elaborate more on it. Is if you truly think about it, why does One Piece have so many islands? Go back to like a lot of the islands that we saw. Besides the inner story within that island, it didn't do much for the grand scale of One Piece. Like, there are certain islands that we needed to go to, right? Like, we needed to go to Water 7 to fix the ship. We needed to go to Skypiea. No, we didn't even need to go to Skypiea. That was a journey. We didn't need to go to Alabasta. They just wanted to help Vivi, right? So, they needed to go to Water 7 to fix the ship. Big Mom's territory to get back Sanji and to get up a rubbing. Kaido's to get a rubbing. But, like, why do they need to go to Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Alabasta, Thriller Bark, all these places they didn't really need to go to? And if you take away, obviously in every arc you're gonna get a little bit of lore here and there that's gonna matter to the grand scheme, but you can take away some arcs like Thriller Bark, and aside from like the Florian Triangle and a few other things like Kaido fighting Moria and stuff like that, and Oars, aside from that, the arc isn't really that important, right? So why don't you ask? Like, we should all be asking ourselves, why is it that Oda insists on putting so many islands with so many stories if they're not directly getting Luffy closer to the One Piece? And I think this is a perfect hint to what I was saying, that Luffy's actual true goal is to unite everyone. And if that's the case, then all of these islands couldn't be any more important than they are, right? It's extremely important for Luffy to go through all these islands, go through all this trouble, go through liberating all the people of those islands, go through the parties at the end. That's so important because that's what leads to his true dream. So that was my evidence for that. Now, with this being Joy Boy's dream, again, I think this goes without saying, because we know inherited will is a heavy thing in One Piece, and Luffy would have inherited Roger's will, Roger would have inherited Joy Boy's will. I think with them having the same devil fruit too, again, this goes without saying. Anyone could put the two together. Now, I also went on to go further into detail with this, and I talked about the importance of Nakama in One Piece. And I literally went back to chapter 1, and I showed you guys that the number one lesson in chapter 1, again, in my humble opinion, all of this is my humble opinion. My humble opinion, this is the way I perceive things. It does not mean this is the way Oda meant for it to be. It does not mean this is the way you need to perceive it. This is just the way I perceived it, and I wanted to give you guys a different perspective, like I said in the beginning of the video. To me, without a doubt, the number one lesson we were supposed to learn from chapter 1 is that exact quote that Shanks said that I put in the video, where he's like, I'll let you guys do whatever the hell you want to me, but you can't mess with mine. Anyone who messes with my Nakama, you're done. You're finished, right? That's the lesson. Otherwise, what's the point of having bandits in Chapter 1 and never again to begin with? So Oda is telling us Nakama is the #1 most important thing in the entire story. Literally. Like, I don't care about dreams. I don't care about inherited will. I don't care about Luffy wanting the One Piece. It's Nakama. Nakama is the most important thing Oda wants us to know. It's friendship. Look at every arc has a different theme to it, but they all have bigger themes and smaller themes. Regardless if it's the big theme or the smaller theme, Nakama is a theme in every single arc that has ever occurred in One Piece. Even Marineford and the Summer War Saga arc, because the whole thing about that was that he didn't have his Nakama and he failed. And he was about to give up, and the only reason he didn't give up is because of his Nakama. Jinbei, one of the best quotes in the entire story. Don't look at what forget about what you've lost. Look forward to what still remains, right? That's how important Nakama was. And then the final thing I said was, I believe that Laugh Tale is Joy Boy's story. And the reason Roger Pirates were laughing is because the same reason everyone laughed at Luffy's dream. Same reason Whitebeard and Oden laughed at Roger's dream. Same reason Yamato laughed when Ace told her Luffy's dream. We know that this dream that Luffy and Roger share makes people laugh. And if this dream makes people laugh, and obviously Luffy and Roger are connected to Joy Boy, who wrote Laugh Tale that made people laugh. And not only this, but Roger after this said he wished he lived in his time. It's connected right there, right? It's absolutely connected right there. There's the evidence. So like I said, I believe the Roger Pirates were laughing for 2 reasons. Number 1, same reason the Straw Hats were laughing, because it's such a crazy dream. And number 2, because they already knew their captain's dream. And it's the same reason that Roger himself was laughing, because he wouldn't laugh at the dream. It's his own dream. He wouldn't find it as something to laugh about, right? Same as Luffy. He was laughing because he couldn't believe someone else had the same dream he did. And that's why he said, Joy Boy, I wish I lived in the era. That part I explained in the video. So, holy shit, it's already 17 minutes. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get into it now, though. I really wanted to explain this. So, long story short, I could have done better explaining that because I was going to tell it in a story format. It may come off as me talking about it as a fact. It may come off as me, how can I put this? As me brushing off, giving evidence to some of the smaller theories that I had for the sake of the story and to keep people interested, keep viewers watching, which looks like it succeeded, so thank you to everyone. But I did want to address this because it is valid criticism, and for all those that pointed this out, like, yeah, it is valid criticism, and here's my answer to you. But the most ironic and funny part about this, and the main reason I didn't want to talk about it in the first place until I finally decided to, is because the people who criticize, they're not, let's be real, they're not going to watch the video. They're not going to watch any of my other videos. That video has 22,000 views. All my other videos at best have 1,000, 2,000, a couple hundred. So they're there for the theory. They didn't like it, or they did like it and they left that comment, right? Which is fair, but they're not going to even hear my explanation. And you guys that did enjoy are going to hear this explanation. But then I thought, you know what? Maybe you guys thought this too, and even if you didn't, I should still address it. So this is addressed to you guys as well, to like my loyal fans, to those that enjoyed it, to those that watch all my other videos, to those that subscribed. Even if you guys did enjoy it and you did think about this problem, it's valid. It's a valid critique, but this is my explanation for it. So I take fault in not doing a better job explaining that this was going to happen with it being a story. I just assumed that the moment I said, I'm going to tell it in story format, that you guys would understand this. But that's my fault. This is long. I might just even make this a separate video. I don't know. But now, let's get into Bleach, guys. Sorry about that. That was a long tangent. If you watched it, thank you. I am hyped for Bleach. Again, I know the fight that's going to happen, but I have no idea what the context is. So, with that being said, guys, thank you guys for listening to that. And let's start Bleach. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh my god, the best 25 minutes of my life weekly. Not really, you know. Don't take that too seriously. But I do get really hyped for Bleach. Captain. I'm coming. Hold on. Shunsui. We might have to say goodbye. Appointing Shunsui Ju's Kuriaka as head captain and squad 1 captain. He didn't even want it. Such a Shunsui thing, bro. So, that's why I love his character. My man didn't even want it. I would have just thought he stepped forward as like one of the most experienced guys. But no, he didn't even want it. Such a Shunsui thing to do, bro. So I guess he's not going to take Nanao with him because... Well, Sasakibi is dead anyways. But there was that guy right before Yamamoto died. Okakiba or something? Is he going to be his Shunsui's lieutenant now? Bleach. Man, I wish this was daily. And actually, let me mention quickly before the opening finishes. Sorry guys that I couldn't do a live reaction to this chapter. This week I've had a lot of unexpected things happening. And I tried, but there was just no way I could do it. There was a lot of... I won't get into detail. But there was a lot of shit that I had to deal with that came unexpectedly this week. So I really had to deal with that. But I'll be back for next live reaction. Don't worry about that. '93, '94. You're not supposed to get out of a bath until you finish counting up to 100. Right back in there. I wonder if we're going to see this guy fight. Like, for real. What the hell was that for? You're healed. If you were, then that would have killed you. What wounds did Ichigo even have? Oh yeah, you about cut him. He's gonna hit him, isn't he? Smack him. Yep. Is he gonna be okay? Yeah. You didn't send me flying. Nah, he's trying to be tough about it. No. Oh, okay. I want to see the fight, bro. I want to see the fight so bad. Made of super spiritual threads, the extreme recovery would have caused our bodies to erode and rupture. Soaking massive tendrils, white bone blood. I saw their potential, but they went beyond my expectations, especially that Ichigo kid. When that punk took my strike. Wow. That kid is really something. So the Soul King knows about Ichigo and is interested in Ichigo. Wait. Knows how to handle me. They will both fulfill the duties of assisting me. They didn't show the caption earlier, but I heard Okakiba. Their squad captain. So he wants 2 lieutenants. Okakiba and Nanao. Right? Now then, may I proceed with my first task as a head captain? What's it going to be? I intend to teach Kenpachi Zaraki Zanjutsu. To the royal palace. There is no guarantee they will return safely. In battle. We cannot leave him as he is now. If he becomes more powerful than he is now, we won't be able to stop him if he revolts. Have you forgotten we urged Ryusai to stop teaching him kendo after only 1 day? Will any of you be able to protect yourselves? Bro, what is this hype around Kenpachi? They've been intentionally withholding him. I'd like you to handle this matter concerning Kenpachi Zaraki. It's gonna be her, isn't it? Yep, Unohana. Captain Unohana. Or should I say, the first Kenpachi, Yachiro Unohana. And you can see her face is already turning back into the old one. My injuries were worse. Man, so they fight so that they can teach him. What is Zanjutsu? Is that like Shikai and Bankai? Because he doesn't use his sword's powers. He just uses his sword like any other sword. Like a knife, right? So, like Shunsui has his games. Renji stretches. Everyone has a thing. Kenpachi doesn't. I would have been able to land safely using a break fall. What was that? I bet you can't do that, can you? She reminds me of Naruto. I don't know why. Maybe it's a thing on her face. Not Naruto himself, just like a Naruto character. And her eyes being closed. That looks good. Gatonden, main hall. I thought she meant it as a whipping us into shape, but looks like she really meant what she said. There's no way she'd serve us this food for no reason. I bet it's an excuse to start some ridiculous form of training. Thanks to Urahara. There's no need to worry. This Gentonden is a palace of food. My job is to ensure your bellies are full. And your job is to stuff your bellies. Now eat up. That's all they needed to hear. Such Dragon Ball Z vibes. This whole place is just Dragon Ball Z vibes. I like it. Spicy. It looks grotesque, but surprisingly tastes awesome. Oh, wow. It has an awesome texture to it, too. And the way the awesome aroma is so awesome. Hearing your herbal food critique is ruining my meal. Man, give us the fight. Give us the fight. You idiot. I can tell. I'm just taking a break. Should we really be doing this? Everyone in the Zaraki is training right now to prepare for the next battle. While we're here taking baths and eating food. Yeah, because you're healing. It's not fooling around. What else can you do if you're healing? Yeah, exactly. Renji, see? Renji gets it. Exactly. It's common sense, Ichigo. If you agree, then eat more. You can still keep going. Of course I can. Okay. I like it, but the scene's going on for so long. I guess it's only natural for Lieutenant to figure it out. Who's this? Whoa, how did she change like that? No wonder Shinji didn't recognize her. On a Soul King scale. It's on a whole other level from the healing diet that you know in the Zaraki. Now focus on rebuilding your body. I don't think they're listening to her, bro. Everything got smaller about her except for you know. I use up all my spiritual pressure when I cook. So after I'm done cooking, I always lose a lot of weight. Green King Kiryu Hikifune. Remember how I told you our ritual was packed with the history of the Soul Society? Every one of us in Squad Zero has created something in the Soul Society. And those who are recognized as being the history of the Soul Society itself by the Soul King are allowed to join her squad. Really? Into a body. Dragon Balls! Quite literal Dragon Balls. Was applied to create soul candies. The essence of Gikon is to increase one's level of power by placing a completely foreign spiritual pressure into your own body. The food you ate was filled with that essence. Your body should now be containing spiritual pressure that is nothing like you felt before. Okay, this is very interesting. So each of the 5 have created something fundamental. Oh, Etsun. Oh, the black guy. He created Zanpakuto itself? Also, they didn't show us much of him at all in the last episode. He was the only one that didn't even talk. I forgot to point that out. The Central Underground Great Prison. The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. Right? Who else? Lowest level, Muken. Oh, Kenpachi. Is that Kenpachi? Kenpachi. Is Kenpachi about to meet with Aizen? No way. Oh, I'm surprised you were able to give completely closed off and infinitely large. Thus, it was decided that this was the only place suitable for you to freely swing your sword. Otherwise, non-criminals enter this place. Look who's talking. If you and I weren't powerful, we'd just be ordinary criminals. I want to see how strong she is. Look at her face. You have no power. I suggested this place because I felt you would fit in perfectly here. Win as a captain or lose as a criminal. Doesn't matter if I live or die fighting you. It's still going to be an eternal hell. I like you better when you're quiet. Oh shit! Whenever I hear your voice. The single scar you gave me became... He gave her a scar? They fought before. Wait. Said to be the strongest in history. She served as the captain of Squad 11 and created the basis of what Squad 11 is today. Before being appointed as a captain by Old Man Yama, she was the most notorious criminal in the history of the Soul Society. To show her mastery and her complete proficiency of the blade, she gave herself the name Yachiru, 8,000 styles. Once you and Captain Zaraki cross blades, what, it's a fight to the death? One of you will have to die. No, I knew that. To Isane. He didn't even bother wearing the headband. Yo, the music is sick. Did she catch it? Look at the animation, bro. I commend you for removing your eye patch from the start. He respects her more than anyone else he's ever fought in the series. That is the extent of your power. She's wrecking him. Look at her face, bro. So weak. She's wrecking Kenpachi. And make use of their other arm. I can't imagine you're enjoying this fight. He's definitely enjoying the fight. To think you'd resort to using a cheap trick like this to wound me. You've changed quite a bit. He's already, like, fucked up, and they just started fighting. His sword. She stabbed him, didn't she? No. I haven't changed at all. I simply do not have the leeway to use such a cheap tricks against you. Kenpachi got weaker? trees, bugs, people. No matter what I cut, it was all the same. It was boring. It was no different from swinging a sword while alone in the dark. He was a kid. Fighting you was the first time I felt fear. I wanted to fight just like you. But you're saying, I'm going to die here without ever being you? Kenpachi is crying. Did she stab him in the throat? What the fuck? Damn it. He was imagining that? You look like you spaced out for a moment. Is that her technique? No. Does she manipulate sense as well? Kenpachi Zaraki, you will not die. Each time you're on the verge of death, you grow stronger. That is a flaw you put upon yourself. And it is also my sin. Bro. No, I can't wait a week. I can't wait a week. You guys don't understand. Ever since I knew about this spoiler, I don't care about Yamamoto's death. I don't care about Ichigo being in Quincy. I don't even care about whoever fights Yuha at the end. I don't care about Aizen. I want to see this fight so bad. Man. I don't know what I'm looking forward to more. Seeing Kenpachi's powers or seeing Unohana's powers and what she can do with her Zanpakuto. Man. But are they really gonna fight to the death? What sense does that make for the Soul Society? It doesn't make sense. Wait, let me see if there's a scene. Battle is everything. That's it. Unohana's voice. Man. There's nothing else, right? Okay. Yo. So this was the main thing. The main thing I got spoiled on was Yamamoto's death, but this was the number one thing that I personally wish I didn't get spoiled on. I told you guys this before. And there is another thing about this fight that I know, but I think it's kind of obvious. I think we can all put together that this would have to come out of this fight, but regardless, I'm not going to say what it is, because I know there's probably some anime-only watchers that watch this as well. But, okay, so Shunsui said that he wants to, the first thing he wants to do as head captain, the most important thing, is to teach Kenpachi Zanjutsu, which I'm assuming with Jutsu, I'm pretty sure it's like the powers of your sword, right? So like the Shikai, the Bankai, even if it's not necessarily Bankai, at least Shikai, so that, because everyone has a power with their sword, right? Kenpachi doesn't, he just cuts you, because he doesn't have a Shikai yet. So he wants to teach him Shikai and probably Bankai, so the main reason he wants to do this is to get him as strong as he can be so that they can beat the Quincy's. But if Unohana is already this strong, plus she's a healer, and she's your most important healer and the leader of your healing group in the Soul Society. Why would you want those two to fight to the death where one of them dies? So let's say, okay, it seems, first of all, for his plan to work, it would seem like he would be hoping Unohana dies, which is already fucked up. Shunsui's goal is for Unohana to die, basically. He wants Kenpachi to get so strong that he kills Unohana and he's on a whole other level now so that they can use him to fight the Quincy's. But then you don't have a top healer at the captain level like you did before. And you're also losing someone who's as strong as... I'm assuming if Kenpachi wins this fight and he does kill Unohana, he will be slightly, ever so slightly stronger than her. So you killed someone that was just weaker than the Kenpachi that you want at the end and has healing techniques when you could have just made them fight, make Kenpachi strong, and then have two strong characters. Or even if you can't do that, just keep Unohana and Kenpachi the way they are. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like the context. I don't like the context of this fight. I thought it'd be deeper than this. I thought, first of all, I didn't think it had anything to do with anyone else but the two of them. I didn't think it was by orders. It's kind of fucked up that Shunsui would order Unohana after all she's done for the Soul Society to march into her death like that. Because that's what he wants her to die. And we all, let's be real here. Kenpachi is not dying. That's a fact. So either none of them die, or Kenpachi actually kills Unohana. And I don't know which one I mean, I would say none of them would die if it wasn't the 1,000-year blood war. If it was like a Rankar saga or some bullshit, I would say none of them would die, even with the hype of him saying that one of them has to die. But with it being the Arankar saga, that felt like knowing Unohana's gonna die. That's fucked up. Like the moment he said that and you saw the messages that both lieutenants were reading, to me that's like watching Unohana's death scene, pretty much. I don't know if she actually dies. Byakuya didn't die. But she's old gen like Yamamoto. And I can't, now that I think about it, I don't know many spoilers. Pretty much 90% of spoilers I know have happened already. And I don't know much of the future after this, which is good. But this also scares me because if Kenpachi really does become that strong, I don't know what kind of a role Unohana would play. Unohana's gonna die. Captain Unohana is gonna die. She's gonna die. And Kenpachi is gonna reach a whole other level. Probably gonna be like as strong as Shunsui, maybe even, by the time this is done. I don't understand it. Is that really necessary? Is there more to this that I'm missing? Because like I said, any way you look at it, I don't see how the individual power level of Kenpachi is gonna be higher than the sum of the two of them together. Himself plus Unohana, plus her healing abilities that he won't have if he kills her and she's dead. It doesn't make sense to me. The context of the fight, I don't want to say I am kind of disappointed. I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry. Because the main thing I was looking forward to about this fight, more so than the result, mainly because it's two captains fighting. If it wasn't because it was two captains fighting and Unohana, then I would care about the result more than the context. But because of this, I care about the context far more than the result. And I kind of know the result. I don't know if he kills her or not, but like... And I haven't been spoiled. I have not been spoiled, but let's be real. Shunsui's going to get what he wants. He's going to get that top tier Kenpachi Zaraki. We know this. Whether or not he kills her, I don't know. I wouldn't have even thought that was something that might have even happened before today. But I don't know. I don't know how. It's the 1,000-year blood war. Look what happened to Yamamoto. Unohana, let's be real, she's gonna die. And they saved Byakuya because that was a bullshit way to kill someone. So now they're gonna kill Unohana, aren't they? But then they're gonna need two captain replacements. Squad 8 and Squad 4. Or the series will probably be done by the time they're even worrying about that. Okay, my mind is all over the place right now. First of all, this episode is way better than last episode. And last episode was hype. But I have a feeling. Okay, so just so you guys know, Kenpachi is one of my... Okay, who are my favorite characters in Bleach? If I were to rank my favorite characters in Bleach, It's gonna go something like this. Number one has always been Kisuke Unohana. He's always been number one. Number two is Gin, but now he's dead. Number three is Shunsui. Those have always been my top three. Unohana, Ichimaru, Shunsui. Number 4 and 5 that then switch with each other are Kenpachi and Aizen. But those 5 characters are Bleach for me. Like, they are Bleach in itself. Without those 5 characters, I don't care about Bleach. Honestly, I don't. I like Bleach is hype because of those 5 characters for me. But in terms of fights, Kenpachi is every single Kenpachi fight has always been my favorite fight in Bleach. So my favorite fight in Bleach was Kenpachi against Ichigo, and I was like, this is top notch. Until Kenpachi and Noitora. And when Kenpachi versus Noitora happened, it wasn't just my favorite fight in Bleach. It was my second favorite fight I have ever in all of anime. After Gaara and Rock Lee. I'm like, after Gaara and Rock Lee, my second favorite fight I've ever seen in anime for me personally is Kenpachi and Noitora to this day. To this day. And I haven't seen tons of anime. I've seen maybe 20, 25 anime. All of them are like typical shonen type of anime, right? So I've seen a lot of anime fights. And no individual character, I don't think in any anime, not even Zoro, guarantees a good fight like Kenpachi Zaraki. And the reason I'm saying this is because I already think this is going to be my favorite fight in anime by the time it's done. If they drag it out. If they make it as short as Yamamoto's fight with Yuhaba, I don't know. But if they make this a solid 4 or 5 episode fight, I don't know. Something about Kenpachi, the way he fights. All the blood, all the just straight up swordsmanship. No bullshit about it. The reason I like the Noitora fight was because of the story. Because, first of all, I loved both those characters. Noitora is also one of my favorite characters. He's my favorite Espada. And his insecurities and his his flaws in the story that made his character great, like his insecurities with Nell, and the main reason he wanted to get strong in the first place was because of his insecurities and all this, made Kenpachi the perfect guy to fight him, because Kenpachi just wanted to fight strong characters and appreciated strong characters. So Kenpachi kind of fulfilled Noitora by Kenpachi being so happy about that fight and so excited and having that long drawn out fight. Noitora can rest knowing he was strong, and he was very strong. That's what I got out of it. It was a lot deeper than that, but that was one of my favorite things about it. And with this one now, you have the first Kenpachi and the current Kenpachi. I don't know if there are Kenpachis in between them. I've been spoiled on the fact that Unohana was the first Kenpachi, and in my head, I always thought, because it's been 1,000 years, right, since the 13 Core Guard squads was created. I think 1,000 years. So I thought there was going to be a bunch of different Kenpachis along the line between Unohana and Kenpachi Zaraki. And we know each Kenpachi defeats the other to gain the title. So, with that being said, Kenpachi Zaraki would have defeated the previous Kenpachi to become Kenpachi. Does that mean he defeated Unohana? And the reason I ask that is because now we know they fought before in the past. I would have thought someone defeated her, someone defeated that person, Kenpachi defeated that person. But now it's looking like he defeated her before in the past and took the title and then moved her all the way over to Squad 4. But if that's the case, why is she toying with him now? If that's the case, why is it going to be... Wouldn't it have been a harder fight then because she was a current Kenpachi? Whereas now it's kind of like what Yuhaba was saying to Yamamoto. You guys have grown soft. If anything, Unohana would have grown soft now. So it would have been easier to beat her now than it is to beat her when she was reigning Kenpachi. So what sense does it make that Kenpachi Zaraki beat her then, but can't beat her now? But then again, she also said, she implied that he got weaker. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. But they fought before in the past. He gave her a scar over here. And we've never seen it before because she's covered up and she has her hair in a braid, a big knot that goes all the way down, right? So we never see that. Now she has her hair long, straight hair. It's opened up a bit. She has like that dark face. I love it. And that was something I got spoiled on, was her visual. And I absolutely loved that. man, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be so freaking good. And with the 5 Squad Zero members, they said each member created a fundamental aspect of the Soul Society that's now a part of the Soul Society forever. And they themselves are a piece of history of the Soul Society, a huge piece of history. And that's why the Soul King has chosen them to be his guardians in Squad Zero, which is very interesting. And I think the healing techniques was the first guy's fundamental thing, maybe, but we haven't seen that before. This girl's was eating into like healing with the, what was it called, like Gonku balls or something like that, the spiritual pressure balls. We haven't seen that. But the next guy created Zanpakuto. That is Bleach in itself. So what were they using before that? Does that mean that he created swords in Bleach? Or does that mean he created the special abilities that swords have, like Shikai and Bankai, and what they can do? Like he was the one that created the abilities for Yamamoto to be able to unleash fire with his swords, for Shunsui to be able to play these games with his swords, for Renji to be able to stretch, but not the actual physical sword itself. I'm thinking more of the latter. Like he was the one to discover Shikai and Bankai. If that's true, this guy's gonna be hype. He's gonna be like maybe the most hype member aside from Ichibei. But it's so interesting because they didn't show anything of him in the first episode. They showed all the other ones. All the other ones, they got into conversations with members of the Soul Society that they've known prior, and then we got to see them all upstairs, like when they all went to the Royal Palace. But this guy was literally, we just saw him in the first shot where it showed all of them and they were like waving the flag around and he was doing like all this stuff and then nothing. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'm excited. So next episode we're probably going to get this guy, the black guy, and then we're going to get more of Unohana and Kenpachi Zaraki. I can't wait a week, guys. I cannot wait a week for this. This might be more hype. No. It might be more hype than the Yamamoto stuff. I think in the peak of this battle with Kenpachi and Unohana, because I know for myself, and I know what I like about Bleach and what I like about anime, but especially about Bleach. This is the type of shit I love about Bleach more than anything. So I think this fight is going to be the most hyped thing in the entire 1,000-year Blood War for me. I can already sense it. Like I don't know what's going to come after, and I may be wrong, but knowing what I like, there's nothing I am looking forward to more than Kenpachi versus Unohana in the entire story. And I'm already convinced by the time it's over, it could possibly be my favorite fight in anime, period. I just don't know if she's going to die or not, but I would have never thought it was going to be a fight to the death. Never. And I would have never thought it would be under this context too, where Shunsui just wants Kenpachi to get stronger. I don't want to say it feels lazy. I don't want to say that. But I need more. I'll say that. I need more context behind it. Like, yeah, you want Kenpachi to get stronger. So send in one of your absolute strongest characters in the time of need where you need stronger characters. You send in perhaps, I would say, a top 3 strongest character in the Soul Society right now after Yamamoto's death, probably. Because I know how strong the portrayal of her as the first Kenpachi is, kind of. I've been spoiled on like all the hype we got right now would already boost her up to like Shunsui level, if not above it. So because of that, I'm like, why would you sacrifice? What sense does it make to sacrifice someone like that for a chance for Kenpachi to reach his limit? Unless Kenpachi's peak is supposed to be like Aizen, where he can like one-shot practically the entire Soul Society. Unless that's the case, what is the point of this? Maybe that is the case. Maybe by the end of the series, Kenpachi will be stronger than everybody except Ichigo. Maybe Shunsui will be the joke compared to Kenpachi by the end of the series. I don't know. But this video is an hour long, guys. It's gonna take me a fucking long ass time to render, but it's gonna come out tomorrow anyways. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bleach hype as always. I know these videos don't do as well as my One Piece videos, but honestly, I don't care. This is for me and for all of you guys that love Bleach, and I want to grow a Bleach audience too. I want this channel. Like if you look at the channel, it says "Let's Talk One Piece and Bleach." That's literally what I want this channel to be about. us talking about One Piece and Bleach every week, non-stop, consistently. So I'm gonna keep doing these videos. I might even do more Bleach videos. I don't know, because I want to build a Bleach fan base while I build up my One Piece fan base as well. Because I love both animes are my top 5 anime ever. I love both, and I feel there's a lot of similarities in both as well, kind of. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the beginning, what I had to say too about that, let me know what you guys think. If you watched that, I know it's like 20 minutes long. You don't have to watch it. Honestly, I don't expect any of you to watch it, but if you did watch it, because I know my loyal supporters watch like these videos, so I do value what you guys have to say. So let me know from a completely unbiased perspective. What do you guys think about this critique? Is it fair? Is it not fair? Is there anything that you think I could have done about the theory video? Because I don't take critique badly. I've always taken it well. And the first thing when I read those things, I'll sit back and I'll be like, is it valid or not? And I'll take the valid points and I'll also just like ditch the points that I don't think are valid. Because one thing is, you're always going to have haters, right? And although these people aren't necessarily haters, well, some of them, by the way they were commenting, were clearly haters. You're not going to please everyone. This is something I learned very early in life. So the fact that I pleased over 90% of people in that video, I can try and do what I can to fix the rest. But if that doesn't please the rest as well, like the people that are already hating, then you're just part of the majority that the video was not meant to entertain. And I don't know what to say about that. I'm sorry. Like, it's literally not going to be for everyone. Go look at any single YouTuber, not even a One Piece YouTuber, any YouTuber ever. Every video is going to have dislikes. It's going to have someone commenting a negative thing, because nothing in this world is for everybody. That's just a fact. So you can't stress over that, right? But you do want a high success rate, and you do want to take critique and take away from it what you can in a positive manner. Constructive criticism, right? And then ditch just the pure criticism. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Bleach episode down below. How hype is the next episode going to be, man? I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have another great One Piece video out this Saturday. Much sooner than Saturday. Don't worry. Much sooner than Saturday. So stick around for that, guys. And thanks for watching. Nature Boy, out.